What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is the season finale for Black Ink Crew Chicago season 6 episode 12. So that's what we are. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hope you like this video. So look, you guys, we picked this episode up. Drea done went over to Non-Mag, asked Ryan if she could rent a booth temporarily because she had clients. She couldn't do tattoos out of Second City. We know that whole situation. Ryan was like, sure. So he's sitting there with Four and Dawn, and she walking through the joint like she own it, and they like, what's that? And Ryan explained the situation. He was like, look, and Charmaine was pissed off and she yelling at me at the baby shower. And, what I love about Ryan is Ryan was like, she just wanted somebody to yell at. It is what it is. I look at it now like brother and sister arguing. She family. She mad. She'll get over it and we'll figure it out. Like, I'm not even tripping. He said if she had slowed down long enough to listen, I would have explained to her that I would be willing to come over there and help her get everything ready for her inspection and help her with whatever. Now, that's the second person that's offered you help, Charmaine. Now, I understand why you didn't really accept any help from Van, but at the end of the day, here's the thing I need Charmaine to understand. And I think she's partially there. You got to understand that you screwed up, and people have a right to their feelings. People have a right to feel the way they feel. People have a right to criticize you. People have a right to say, look, Charmaine, you might not have been ready for this. You might have bitten off more than you could chew. The fact that you worked at a tattoo shop, whether it was for TV or not, the fact that you worked at a tattoo shop for as long as you did, and something as basic as an inspection, come on, Charmaine, like, you can't be mad that people are handling their business the way they're handling their business. But anyway, back over to Second City. She's talking to Kitty. All the paperwork has been filed. The inspection people are coming the next day. If they pass inspection, they're good to go. If not, it is what it is. Now, while they're doing this and they're explaining to Fly and to my other man, y'all know I can't remember that baby name, who come walking through the door as Prince? Where you come from? Thought you was in jail for 2 years. He said that he thought he was gone for the next 2 years, but he went to court and the judge gave him time served and he only had to do 5 days. Now, I didn't go to nobody's law school. I promise you I didn't. I have nobody's JD and nothing. But it seems to me that your lawyer should have had that conversation with you to say, hey, we're going to try to get you some time served because you had that house arrest and you was on the ankle bracelet for XYZ amount of time and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, it seems to me like you shouldn't have walked in the court thinking you were going away for 2 years and only had to do 5 days when you took a plea. It's one thing if you had gone to trial and that was your sentence and the judge suspended your sentence. You took the damn plea. You ain't know? Then he had the nerve to have an attitude when he found out that the shop is closed temporarily. Oh, man, I just got out of jail, man. I need to work. Because, see, if it was me, you wouldn't have a job to come back to. You don't just leave, go to jail, and don't tell nobody. You don't even give me the courtesy of a text. Like, I get it that you didn't want other people in your business. I even get it that maybe you didn't want the show in your business. But at the end of the day, you left without a phone call, a text, a letter, a nothing, email, something. You get out of jail. You still don't call. You just show up and think you about to start tattooing. And you had a nerve to get an attitude with me because the shop not open. He the only one that don't have a right to have an attitude with Charmaine. The only one. Everybody else, I'm going to get him that. He the only one that don't have a right to have an open. Because you shouldn't even have no job to come back to. For real, dude. Then we get down here to the DNA test. Now, look, I'm not going to draw this whole thing out. The baby ain't for us, but who the hell didn't know that? But let me tell you something. I think this whole situation was negligent on the mother's part. Let's look at this. Y'all know how I always want to split it up. If this were just a storyline and all of this was planned out from the beginning and it was a fake storyline and everybody was in on it and we're the only ones that think this is a real situation, I still think that it is. I think that it is. I mean, if they actors and they're actors, I'm going to let that go. If they acting and they got paid for acting a part, then cool. Have a good time. Great. Bravo. But if this was a real situation, I think it is negligent on that mother's part that she brought that little girl into this. There's no way, going all the way back to the beginning, when Ford first asked to meet with her because he wanted to just talk to her and just figure out who the hell she was because he didn't even remember having sex with this girl, and she brought the daughter with her, she was negligent. She was wrong. And I'd have never let this be on no TV. I don't give a damn what they was paying me. My daughter couldn't have, if it was just me and the baby, it was a baby and too young to know what was going on, that's one thing. But this little girl is 17 years old. She is in high school. Everybody's going to see this. Everybody's going to know this. And you knew good and damn well that that wasn't your damn baby daddy. You knew full wasn't your damn baby daddy. And then for you to act like you have an attitude about the situation, you don't have a right to have an attitude about the situation. And then for her to be like, well, yeah, you know, I mean, all I ever wanted was just to know, and I'm glad we know now. Child. I felt sorry for Ford, and I felt sorry for that little girl, because I think there's a part of Ford that wanted that girl to be his daughter, because I think Ford wanted the opportunity to be for somebody where somebody wasn't for him. But he handled it well. He pulled her away from the camera, even though the cameras were still there. But he said, let me tell her myself. And he pulled her away from the camera, and he said, you know, I'm not here for as a father figure to you. I can't be that for you, but I can be here as a mentor. I can be here as somebody to talk to. You have my number. You can contact me. Like, basically he's saying, look, I'm not going to just leave you high and dry. I can't be your father because I can't play that role in your life, but I can definitely be somebody that's here for you. I don't want this to sideline you. I want you to continue to be a good, you know, go out here and do what you're doing and be a good chick. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to say chick, but y'all know what I mean. But Ford handled it the best way he could. But y'all, that whole thing pissed me off. For her, because the girl wouldn't even get out the van because she had so much anxiety about, I don't know whether she, at that point, she knew he wasn't her father and she just didn't want to film the scene, or if she didn't know and she had that much anxiety about finding out whether he was her father or not. But I felt so bad for that little girl in that moment. And again, if they were actors and actresses, cool, great. But if that was some real shit, that was messed up. Now, Ryan goes to his therapist, and his therapist tells him point blank, look, you have to be happy. It's clear that you still have feelings for Rachel. And Ryan was like, well, yeah, like, I've never made any, you know, bones about that. She said, yeah, but if y'all are not going to be together, you have to heal. You got to work through it, and you have to heal, because you owe that to the next person, and you deserve to be happy. You deserve to leave work and go home and be happy, and someone deserves that part of you. And she basically, what she said in a nice PhD kind of way was, get over it. Work through this mess with Rachel and get over it. And Ryan was like, you know, I just had to come to terms that we'll never be, that I'm not going to have what I want, which is basically my family. Like, I want all of us under one roof. And, you know, Rachel just had to be honest with me and let me know that she never really got over the infidelity. It doesn't sound like Ryan did anything new. It sounds like Rachel thought she could get over what happened, and she never did get over the whole cat situation. And I'm sure there was probably some other stuff that we don't know about. But ultimately, she just could not get over it. And she tried, and that's where they are as far as that's concerned. I'm going to get back to Miss Rachel. So Ryan does a tattoo. It was nice. Ryan, I'm gonna tell you something. Ryan does some great tattoos. I mean, and he's so talented. When you look at the fact that he freestyles it, it's great. Anyway, but he did a tattoo, child. Okay. Then we get to a restaurant opening. They have a mutual friend of theirs. All of them are friends with this person. I swear, we done seen Danielle more this season than we did all last 2 seasons combined. Unfortunately, she was at the funeral. I don't want to make fun of that. But then she was at the baby shower. She went dress shopping with Charmaine. Now she at the restaurant opening. I mean, this is the most we done seen of Danielle since she left Jamaica, child. But everybody is there, and Ford and Donna, like, you know, all of us are friends with Chef Chip, somebody, but we've seen him before, different things, and, you know, all of them are really friends with him, and they're gonna all be at this, you know, this restaurant opening. And, you know, Four and Dawn were like, we've tried to reach out to Charmaine a couple of times and she hasn't responded. And, you know, we miss her, but we understand. But at the end of the day, you know, we hate the fact that we're all under the same roof and it's just this tension and it's like we can't speak to each other. So, Drea is also there. Now, Drea told Ryan, let me get back to that piece. I think I forgot to say this. Drea, when, because Four and Dawn were like, you know, Charmaine's gonna be pissed off to find out that you let Drea work here. And Ryan was like, yeah, I talked to Drea. I told her I was gonna have to talk to Charmaine first, and she said she would talk to Charmaine. Well, Drea never talked to Charmaine. So Ryan, you did tell her you needed to talk to Charmaine first, but you did not follow up to make sure she did. And you already know, I mean, Charmaine did already cuss you out once this season for that exact same thing. You already know how Charmaine felt, but whatever. So Charmaine goes over to Drea to try to have a conversation with Drea. And she basically tells her, oh, they passed the inspection, child, whatever. They passed the inspection. So she goes over to tell Drea, look, we passed the inspection. Basically, when you coming back? And again, Charmaine, the world does not rise and fall on your fuck-ups. Like, you screwed this up. And other people had to do what was best for them and make their money. And so, you didn't say, well, where you been tattooing? You know, I'm sorry that I put you in a bad situation. Granted, Drea's decision to confront you at your baby shower was bad timing. It absolutely was. But at the end of the day, you can't... One thing I can't stand is when people do something wrong and then their way of handling it is to pretend like it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, your way of handling it, instead of, girl, you know I screwed up and I'm so sorry. She was just like, so when you coming back, your booth is here. And when Drea started letting her know, like, look, first of all, the last time me and you spoke, you told me to go fuck myself. So that's number one. And number two, I've been tattooing down to 9 Mag because I had to make my money. So at this point, I don't know if I want to come back to Second City. I don't know if that's where I need to be. So, of course, Charmaine gets pissed off. She ends up cussing Drea out again, which I don't know why you mad at Drea. She got to make a... I mean, I don't know why you mad at Drea. Then, let me turn my phone keep going off, child. Then she goes over to Ryan, and of course, you know she went over to Ryan to cuss Ryan out. But before she get to cussing Ryan out, Ryan and Kitty have a conversation. And Ryan basically is trying to do what his counselor told him to do. Kitty told him, and what I love about Miss Kitty is Kitty was like, I know my worth. She's one of those women that's like, I know my worth, and I deserve a man that's going to treat me how I need to be treated. And she told Ryan, she was like, look, this whole, when we by ourselves, it's one thing, but when we're with a group of people, it's something different. She was like, I'm not playing that game. I went through that before. I'm not going to go through that again. You got me out here looking crazy. I already been that person, you know, out in these streets looking crazy. People talking sideways about me. I'm not going to be that person again. So at the end of the day, either we trying to figure something out, we trying to work something out, or we not. And Ryan told her, look, we in a relationship. Like, I'm sorry you felt that way. It was never my intention to make you feel that way. But we working on something. We in a relationship and we working on something. Now, I don't think he meant like necessarily we boyfriend, girlfriend, but definitely we more than friends. Like that. We in that more than friend zone right now, figuring it all out. And he said his confessional, he said, Miss Kitty not the kind of person you play games with. She not the kind of person that you just kick it with when you feel like it. And then she's still going. He was like, I know I got to come correct. She's that kind of chick. Now, y'all know in real life, the rumor is that Ryan has been hanging out with Neo's soon-to-be ex-wife. They was all up on the gram this weekend. But, child, that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day anyway. So, when Charmaine goes to confront Ryan, they yelling at each other. And, of course, Ryan is being Ryan. Ryan is like, look, she came to me. He said, hear what you said. She has been temporarily in a guest spot renting a booth. She don't work at 9 Mag. She paying me booth rent so she can do tattoos that she had already scheduled before she found out she didn't have nowhere to do tattoos. He was like, I'm doing you a favor because I'm helping you keep your artist, because at the end of the day, if I didn't give her someplace to tattoo, either she was going back to New York or she was going to find somewhere permanently to relocate. Let's be clear, tattoo shops come a dime a dozen. Let's not act like y'all the only 2 tattoo shops in Chicago, Charmaine. Stop playing. And Ryan was like, I was trying to help you. I told you, anyway, they got to arguing. And Ryan basically, it was so funny because Ryan basically was like, you just want to fuss about something. You just want to yell about something. So while they arguing, Four and Don walk up. And Charmaine was like, what you want? Like, why y'all coming over here? And they were like, look, we can't come over to talk to you. She was like, depending on what kind of energy y'all coming over here with, because I just can't do it. And basically... And Four had a good point. Basically, Four was like, look, you mad at us about the whole rumor situation. I didn't have nothing to do with the rumor. Like, first of all, when all that stuff went down in Vegas, if you remember correctly, that was when I was suicidal. I was just trying to hold on and make sure that I didn't try to kill myself. I could care less who was sleeping with who and who was doing anything. So for you to lump me in with all of that, that hurts. And second of all, you were there for me. You were in my corner 100 grand. And I feel bad that you have not allowed me to be there for you when you were going through what you're going through. Because we better than this. I said, I know that's right, for you. Better let her know. And so I think a part of Charmaine was like, okay, yeah, he kind of got a point with that. And then the Don thing. And Don was like, look, I feel bad about my part in the whole rumor situation. But at the end of the day, I didn't start the rumor. I feel bad for my part in it, but I didn't start it. And Charmaine was like, well, see, Van came slithering down to the shop last week, and that ain't what he told me. He told me that you started the rumor. Now, once again, Don wasn't even in Vegas. So, at some point, for Don to be in it, somebody had to say something to Don. Don wasn't even in Vegas. So, Don's version of the story is that Van told him, and then he did repeat it to production. And, Charmaine was like, I want y'all to be there for me like I was there for y'all. Y'all was supposed to be my brothers and y'all didn't defend me and da-da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da-da. Now, let me say this, and this may not be politically correct. This might not be the most feminist thing that I'm getting ready to say, and y'all can get me together in them comments if you want. It is what it is. But let me say this. Charmaine, you are a victim of your past in this situation. Let's be clear. You have been very promiscuous in your past. You've been very loose. You've been very free in your sexuality. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Be who you are. Live in your truth. I don't believe in that double standard because men can do what they want to do and women's supposed to be docile. So let me be clear when I say that. But like I tell people all the time, we have freedom of speech, but we don't have freedom of consequence. So in this situation, you have the freedom to be free in your sexuality. But what you don't have, you can't control other people for how they respond to your free. You understand what I'm saying? So the fact that in the past, you have slept with Don, you have flirted with these people, and you've done these other things, I ain't going to go down her checklist. But you have made some questionable decisions with your sexually in the past. Why wouldn't they believe that maybe you slipped up and had an oops with Van one night while y'all were drunk in Vegas? I'm sorry. And I think that's kind of where all of them were coming from with it, to say it could have happened. Now, you were adamant that it didn't happen. You were adamant that, that Don was lying. That Van was lying. But at the end of the day, when you have two friends that are telling you two different versions of the story, you're forced to have to decide who you think is telling the truth. And I think that they felt that it was a large possibility that your version of the story could have not been true. Now, what it seems though is that Van's full of shit. And y'all know, I like Van. I've always liked Van. I thought, Van is what he is, but I've always liked Van. But Van comes rolling in there. Why Ryan gonna say? So they ended up hugging it out. I'm sorry. They ended up hugging it out. Charmaine was like, look, it's gonna take me some time to get there, but I'm glad we're having this conversation. I'm open to the healing. I'm glad we're gonna be moving in that direction. But she was like, I ain't there yet, but we gonna work on it. So they go to hug it out. While Ryan was sitting down, so Charmaine stood up. Ryan hugging her belly. He talking about, so this a big baby. I said, Ryan, that's not what you tell a pregnant woman. But anyway, but Charmaine is huge. But anyway, so then Van comes rolling in there. Yeah, I'm so disappointed. I really used to like Van, but Ryan really don't have no words for Van because, y'all know how Van do. Van been real reckless on social media and talking a whole lot of shit about Ryan, about the shop, threatening to tell, secrets from behind the camera and all that other stuff, and might have even done some of that because I ain't really followed him like that. So he might have said some stuff he shouldn't have said or whatever. Ryan talking about some, if you would ask me how Van was going to show up, I would say show up looking like a whole clown. And what'd he do? Show up looking like a whole clown. Van had on this full mink child with some sunglasses child. But at the end of the day, Charmaine wasn't really trying to hear what he had to say. Charmaine told him to go over there and talk to his boys. Like, Don says you lied. You go over there and talk to him. I ain't got nothing to do with it. You go over there. You go over there. He said, Van basically said, I'm not going. This Van side of the story shit, I'm almost done with this thing. Van's version of the story is that he told Don he got drunk. He don't remember what happened. And Don surmised that something happened between him and Charmaine. Don wouldn't take that leap. Like, I'm sorry. Don, you had to have alluded to the fact that something happened for Don to go all the way there. It would be one thing if Don was like, so what happened? Like, so you did something with Charmaine? You had to allude to it for Don. I just don't believe Don would go from me and Charmaine was drunk last night and I don't even remember what happened to Don jumping. And for it to be that specific. Oral sex. Anyway, so on this one, Van, I call bullshit. And Don basically confronted you. Y'all got in each other's face. Security thought that something was about to happen, but it didn't. And Don ended up walking away. And see, this is how you know when people are real friends in real life. Because as soon as Don walked off, Ryan went after him to make sure he was good. Like, let's calm down. Let's calm down. Whatever. So, and maybe this isn't the finale, y'all. Maybe next week is the finale because didn't they show us a preview of Don going to talk to a lawyer about what's going on between him and Ashley? And anyway, I thought I saw something like that, but okay, whatever, maybe not. Maybe they decided to edit that out. Shit, I don't know. But last but not least, so anyway, that was that. So last but not least, we see Ryan hanging out with Rachel and the kids. They're at the trampoline park. And just as Ryan is basically telling Rachel, I've been talking to my therapist. She told me that basically it's time for me to accept things as they are and move on. I finally, accepted what it is with us. And, I just want to let you know that. Here come Rachel. Well, Ryan, what are we doing? And you can see, you sort of look on Ryan's face. Ryan immediately, face was like, what are we doing? And Rachel was like, I think I'm finally ready for both of us have been wanting all along. And then next thing you know, the cameras cut to 2 weeks later and they're all on vacation on some Caribbean island looking like they just came off their honeymoon. Now, here's the thing. Rachel, you playing games. And what I mean by you playing games is Rachel said that, they just needed a break from each other and this was the time that they needed. And maybe Rachel, once he was gone, you really realized that you missed him and you wanted him back. But I really think that once he really accepted it and was letting you know that he accepted it and he was ready to move on, then you wanted that old thing back. I think you playing games, Rachel. And at the end of the day, if you want him, fine. I definitely want to see families be together. Like I'll never not want to see a family be together. So if that's what it is, then that's what it is. But don't play that I don't want you, but I don't want nobody else to have you game, because that's not cute and that's not fair to Ryan. Just as Ryan was ready to move on, and it don't have to be Miss Kitty. Even though I like Miss Kitty, it could just be that he's ready to move on. You gotta let that go. Either you want to be with him or you not. And if you choose to be with him, that means the good, the bad, and the ugly. Y'all gonna have to stick in there. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. That ran real long. I didn't mean for that to be that long. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.